Welcome back to my channel. Today we explore the value of a specific coin, the top 8 most valuable Jefferson nickel coin value in today's market, so let's get started. First up, the 1982 D Jefferson nickel in good condition. Whether you've stumbled across one in your change jar or are considering adding it to your collection, understanding its current market value is crucial. Let's explore what makes this coin special and how much it's worth in today's auction market. First, a bit of background. The Jefferson nickel, named after Thomas Jefferson, has been a staple of American coinage since its introduction in 1938. The coin features a portrait of Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. The 1982 D Jefferson nickel is part of this long-standing series, minted in Denver, which is denoted by the D mint mark. When it comes to coin values, condition is everything. For this discussion, we're focusing on the good condition. In numismatic terms, a coin in good condition will show some wear but still retain its basic details. On the 1982 D Jefferson nickel, you can expect the features to be identifiable but with significant wear on the high points. So what is this coin worth today? As of the latest auction market trends, a 1982 D Jefferson nickel in good condition generally fetches around $44,000. This value can fluctuate depending on the current demand, the specific auction house, and any unique characteristics of the coin. Although the 1982 D Jefferson nickel is not particularly rare, its value can be influenced by how many are in the market if there's a surge in demand for Jefferson nickels or specific years. Prices can rise. Different auction platforms may have varying levels of interest and bidding activity. To wrap up, the 1982 D Jefferson nickel in good condition holds a modest value of around $77,000. While it may not be the most valuable coin in the series, its historical significance and classic design make it a cherished item for many collectors. If you have one in your collection, it's a great piece to hold onto, and checking auction prices periodically can help you gauge its value. Next up, we're talking about the 1944 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, particularly in fine condition. Stick around, and we'll explore what this coin is worth in today's auction market. First, let's take a closer look at this piece. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The design features a profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his Monticello home on the reverse. The 1944 Jefferson nickel is particularly interesting because it was minted during World War II, a time when the US was conserving metals like nickel for the war effort. This led to the creation of wartime nickels, which were composed of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. The 1944 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark was minted in Philadelphia. The absence of a mint mark on this coin is a clear indication of its origin. You might be wondering what makes this nickel so special. Well, aside from its historical significance, the fact that it contains 35% silver makes it more valuable than your average nickel. But the key question is, how much is it worth today? To answer that, we need to dive into the auction market. The value of a 1944 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in fine condition can vary depending on several factors, including its silver content, historical significance, and of course the current demand among collectors. In today's market, fine condition typically means the coin has seen moderate wear. The major details are still visible, but it's not as crisp as higher grades like very fine or extra thin. In recent years, the value of this specific coin has seen a steady rise due to the increasing interest in silver coins and historical US currency. As of now, in fine condition, the 1944 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark can fetch anywhere from $200,000 in an auction setting. While this might not seem like a fortune, it's a significant increase from its face value, and for a well-preserved specimen, the price could go even higher. Remember, prices can fluctuate based on the silver market and collector demand. For example, a well-timed auction when silver prices are high could push the value of this nickel closer to the upper end of that range. Additionally, if the coin has any unique characteristics, such as an error or particularly strong strike, it might attract a premium. So should you sell your 1944 Jefferson nickel now or hold onto it for a potential increase in value? Well, that depends on your goals. If you're looking to make a quick buck, now might be a good time given the steady market. However, if you're in it for the long haul, these coins could become even more valuable as they become scarcer over time. And there you have it, folks. The 1944 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in fine condition is a great piece to add to any collection or sell for a modest profit. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this coin is a tangible piece of American history that's worth holding on to. Next up, the US. Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel, specifically the 1964 edition, without a mint mark. We'll be exploring its value in the current auction market, particularly focusing on those in black shed dirty condition. So let's get started. The 1964 Jefferson nickel is part of the Monticello series, which honors Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. This series was first introduced in 1938, and the 1964 coin features a profile of Jefferson on the obverse and his estate Monticello on the reverse. Unlike its predecessors, the 1964 nickel does not have a mint mark, as it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Now let's talk about the condition we're focusing on today. Black shed dirty, for those unfamiliar, this term refers to coins that have accumulated dirt or tarnish over time, giving them a very worn and unclean appearance. The black shed description suggests that the coin might have been exposed to elements that caused a significant darkening or discoloration on its surface. Valuing a coin in this condition can be tricky. Coins that are dirty or have blackened surfaces often suffer a decrease in their market value compared to well-maintained specimens. For a 1964 Jefferson nickel in black shed dirty condition, you're looking at a value that is generally lower than higher-grade examples. As of today, the market value for a 1964 Jefferson nickel in poor dirty condition typically ranges between $87,000. This value reflects the fact that collectors usually prefer coins in cleaner, more pristine conditions. However, the exact value can vary based on the severity of the dirt and the overall state of the coin. It's worth noting that even in less desirable conditions, some collectors might still find value in these coins due to their historical significance or for the purposes of completing a set. Additionally, coins like this might be sold in bulk or as part of a larger collection, which can affect their individual pricing. To wrap up, the 1964 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, when in black shed dirty condition, is generally not worth much compared to cleaner, higher-grade examples. However, every coin has its place in the world of numismatics, and collectors may still find interest in these pieces for various reasons. If you have any of these coins lying around, don't be discouraged by their condition. They still hold historical value and could be part of an interesting collection or a conversation piece. Next up, the 1989 US Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark in fine condition. So let's jump right in. This nickel may look like just another coin to the untrained eye, but there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. The 1989 Jefferson nickel was minted at the Denver Mint, hence the D mint mark. But what makes this particular coin intriguing, especially in fine condition, is its historical and collectible value. Let's talk a bit about the design. On the obverse side, you have the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. This portrait, designed by Felix Schlag, has been a staple of the Jefferson nickel since its introduction in 1938. On the reverse side, you'll find the depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia home. This classic design has been a symbol of American architecture and history for decades now. Let's put this coin into a bit of historical context. The 1980s was a decade of significant economic growth in the United States, and the Denver Mint was producing millions of these coins to meet the demand. The 1989 Jefferson nickel is part of a large mintage, with over 1.2 billion nickels struck that year at the Denver Mint alone. So what does it mean for a coin to be in fine condition? In numismatic terms, fine condition indicates that the coin shows moderate wear, with major design elements still visible and some details remaining clear. This condition is definitely better than good, but not quite as sharp as very fine or uncirculated. Is the value of a 1989 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark in fine condition in today's auction market. Given the coin's widespread availability, its value primarily comes from its condition, demand among collectors, and the specific market dynamics at play. Typically, a 1989 D Jefferson nickel in fine condition is not considered rare or particularly valuable, so you won't see sky-high prices at auctions. However, the market can be unpredictable and prices can fluctuate based on collector interest. As of today's market, you can expect this coin to fetch anywhere between $92,000 at auction. While this might not seem like a huge return, remember that coins like these often gain more value as part of a complete set, especially if you're collecting Jefferson nickels from various years and mints. Thus, for newer collectors, finding a coin in fine condition like this one is a great way to start building your collection without breaking the bank. Another point to consider is that even if a single coin doesn't hold significant value, it can still be part of a greater collection that does. Jefferson nickels are popular among collectors for their historical significance and the variety of designs and mint marks available. So there you have it, the 1989 US Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark in fine condition. While it might not be the rarest or most valuable coin, it still holds a special place in the numismatic world, and who knows, In the world of coin collecting, today's common coin can be tomorrow's treasure. Next up, the 1982 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark. Specifically, we're going to dive into its current value in good condition on today's auction market. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious about what your nickel might be worth, make sure to stick around. Before we get into the current market value, let's quickly go over some background on the Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin features an image of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello Jefferson's Virginia estate on the reverse. The coin has undergone some changes over the years, but the 1982 version retains the classic design. Now let's talk specifics about the 1982 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark. The P signifies that the coin was minted in Philadelphia, which, as you may know, is one of the primary mints in the United States. The 1982 issue is particularly interesting for collectors because it comes from an era when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with different materials due to rising costs. Although it's still primarily composed of copper and nickel, the economic challenges of the time make this coin a small piece of history. Grading is an essential factor when determining a coin's value, and the 1982 Jefferson nickel is no exception. For those new to coin collecting, good condition means the coin has seen some wear and tear, but the main features such as Jefferson's profile and the Monticello building are still visible. In numismatic terms, good condition is one of the lower grades, so the coin might have some smoothing of the details and possibly some scratches or dings. Alright, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for, the current value of the 1982 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark in good condition. As of today, in 2024, this coin generally sells in the auction market for about $65,000. No, that might not sound like much, but remember, this is for a coin in good condition. High-grade examples, especially in mint state, can fetch higher prices, but for a circulated good condition coin, this is what you can expect. So, why doesn't this coin fetch a higher price? A few factors come into play. First, the 1982 Jefferson nickel had a high mintage, meaning millions were produced, which affects its rarity. Coins that are more common tend to have lower market values, especially in lower grades. Additionally, the materials used in the coin, copper and nickel, aren't particularly valuable compared to silver or gold. If you're looking to sell your 1982 Jefferson nickel, I'd recommend keeping a few things in mind. First, make sure you have an accurate assessment of its condition. If you're unsure, you might want to have it graded by a professional service. Also consider holding onto the coin. If it's part of a collection, the value of coins can fluctuate over time, especially as they become scarcer. For those of you who are collectors, you might want to look for higher grade examples of this coin to add to your collection. Although a 1982 nickel in good condition might not be a standout piece, finding one in mint state could be a more valuable addition. Next up, the 1942 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark. If you're curious about its current value in fine condition, you're in the right place, so let's get started. We're going to explore the value of the 1942 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in fine condition. This particular coin has an interesting history, and we'll break down what makes it unique, how to assess its condition, and what it's worth in today's auction market. Let's take a step back in time to understand the historical significance of the 1942 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It was designed by Felix Schlag and featured a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse with his home Monticello on the reverse. Now, 1942 was a significant year in U.S. history as it marked the United States' involvement in World War II. The war effort led to several changes in the production of U.S. coinage, including the materials used to mint coins. In 1942, the U.S. Mint produced two types of Jefferson nickels. Early in the year, the coins were made of the standard 75% copper and 25% nickel composition. However, due to the war effort, nickel became a critical material, leading to a mid-year change. The mint switched to a 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese composition, which resulted in the well-known war nickels. But today we're focusing on the early 1942 Jefferson nickel, which does not contain silver and has no mint mark. This coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and unlike the later war nickels, it retained its original copper-nickel composition. Now, before we dive into the value of the 1942 Jefferson nickel, it's essential to understand the concept of coin grading, specifically what fine condition means. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor to mint state. MS-70 fine condition, which falls in the middle of the scale, typically indicates a coin that shows moderate wear but still has all major details visible. For a 1942 Jefferson nickel in fine condition, You'll notice that while some of the finer details like Jefferson's hair and Monticello's columns may be slightly worn, the overall design is still clear and recognizable. The value of a 1942 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in fine condition is generally modest, but it still holds collectible value based on recent auction data and market trends. This coin typically sells for around $87,000, of course. The exact value can vary depending on factors like market demand, the specific details of the coin's condition, and the buyer's interest. While it may not be the most valuable coin in your collection, the 1942 Jefferson nickel is a fascinating piece of American history and a great addition for any coin collector. If you're looking to buy or sell one, it's always a good idea to check the latest auction results and consult with a reputable dealer to get the most accurate valuation. And there you have it. The 1942 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in fine condition might not make you a fortune, but it certainly carries historical value and charm. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin is a great example of how U.S. history is captured in everyday items like pocket change. Next up, the 1988 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark, and we'll be discussing its value in today's auction market, particularly in good condition. If you've ever wondered if that nickel in your pocket might be worth more than 5 cents, stay tuned. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the 1988 D Jefferson nickel, let's quickly take a stroll down memory lane. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The design was created by Felix Schlag, featuring a profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his iconic home, Monticello, on the reverse. The Jefferson nickel has been in continuous production since 1938, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in US. Now let's zoom in on the 1988 D Jefferson nickel. The D mint mark indicates that this coin was minted at the Denver Mint. In 1988, over 588 million Jefferson nickels were produced at the Denver Mint, making it a relatively common coin. However, as with all coins, the value can vary significantly depending on the condition, rarity, and demand among collectors when it comes to valuing coins. Condition is everything. The condition of a coin is determined by its grade, which ranges from poor to perfect uncirculated MS70. For the purpose of this video, we're focusing on the 1988 D Jefferson nickel in good condition. A coin in good condition will show significant wear with major details worn down, but the overall design is still visible. The coin may have scratches, dings, or discoloration, but it's still recognizable. While this isn't the highest grade, it still holds value, especially for collectors looking to complete a set. So what's the 1988 D Jefferson nickel worth in today's market? The value of this coin in good condition typically ranges from $85,000. Yes, you heard that right. Despite its age, the coin's value in this condition is generally close to its face value. However, there are a few factors that could increase its value. You might be wondering, if it's only worth 5 or 10 cents, why should I hold on to it? Well, even though the 1988 D Jefferson nickel in good condition doesn't command high prices today, it's still a piece of history. Additionally, coin values can change over time. What might be worth just a few cents today could become more valuable as it ages, especially if fewer of these coins remain in circulation. Plus, if you're a collector, adding coins like this to your collection is a great way to preserve history and possibly complete a Jefferson nickel Series N. Conclusion: the 1988 D Jefferson nickel in good condition might not make you rich, but it's a wonderful piece to have in your collection. Its historical significance and potential for future value make it a coin worth holding onto. Next up, the US Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel from 1996 with D mint mark, particularly in fine condition. If you've ever wondered what this coin might be worth in today's auction market, you're in the right place. Let's jump right in. Before we discuss the value of the 1996 Jefferson nickel, let's take a moment to appreciate its historical context. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and it has been in continuous production ever since. The coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. On the obverse, on the reverse, it features Jefferson's home, Monticello. As for the 1996 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark, this particular coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which is what the D signifies. During this year, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these nickels, making them relatively common compared to some earlier dates. However, even common coins can have value, especially when they are in good condition or hold some other interest to collectors. Speaking of condition, let's talk about what fine condition means in numismatics. The condition of a coin is critical in determining its value, and collectors use a grading scale to assess this. Coins in fine condition, which typically grade as 12 on the Sheldon scale, show moderate wear with clear and bold details although some finer details may be worn flat. For the 1996 Jefferson nickel, in fine condition, Jefferson's hair and coat will show some wear, but the details of Monticello on the reverse should still be quite distinguishable. Now let's get to the part you've been waiting for: the current market value of the 1996 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark in fine condition. Since this is a more modern coin and was minted in large quantities, its value on the collector's market isn't exceedingly high. However, it can still be a nice addition to a collection, especially if you're aiming to complete a Jefferson nickel series. As of today, coins in fine condition typically fetch between $366,000 in the collector's market. Yes, that might sound close to face value, but for a coin with no errors or special features, this is expected for a relatively recent and common issue like the 1996 D Jefferson nickel. While the 1996 Jefferson nickel might not be highly valuable right now, coin collecting is about more than just immediate financial gain. It's about preserving a piece of history and enjoying the thrill of the hunt. Who knows, over time, as coins in excellent condition become scarcer, their value could increase. Plus, there's always the possibility of discovering a rare error variant that could significantly boost the coin's worth. So, in summary, the 1996 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark in fine condition isn't going to make you rich today, but it's still a solid piece for any collector's album. It represents a continuation of a proud tradition in American coinage, and it's a reminder of how even the smallest pieces of history. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, and please hit the like and subscribe to our channel. A comment below with any questions or suggestions for future videos, and next time, happy collecting.